Previously on Chris and Jen in the morning.
Welcome to Chris and Jen in the morning, where it's always morning somewhere. He's Chris and I'm Jen.
Well, why are you saying he's Chris? You should speak for me. You're a ventriloquist.
We're excited to have you with us this morning. Afternoon. Evening. What time is it? I don't know, because, the clocks have changed.
Right, so is it the real time or is it the fake time? I only trust my phone at this point when time changes. I would say the warm-up into this episode, you were in a state of flow.
I was in a state of flow. Don't, even though he's listening, don't tell my husband I said that, because he's going to tell me we need to start traveling differently. And I don't think that applies to, most experiences. It was just this one time. It's a one-time deal. So we had lunch at, is it Sole Luna?
Yeah, Sol Luna.
In Sunnyside, which I love.
Yeah,
Stay on the sunny side, always on the sunny side.
I always forget I have to pause so that Jen can sing that song after she says Sunnyside.
And then we got on the bus in Sunnyside, and we took that to Lick.
That's right. We rode all the way to Lick.
It's like $7,000 to get into a museum in New York. So instead, we took a left turn and from MoMA and went into the MoMA store, which was entertaining.
We did get a really fun video of Frank opening the book and feeling inspired.
He, by the way, looks so freaking dapper in that hat. I mean, just adorable. Like that hat and that coat and the scarf. He's just a little cutie.
One of my favorite memories of us is you showing me the stuff that you were knitting. You just kept guessing pot holder, and you're like, "No, it's supposed to be a hat.
Scarf.
No, it's supposed to be a scarf. No." So that's where we ended up. Where the entrance to the American Girl doll store is the next block over, and then we walked through that to get into Rockefeller Plaza.
So, yeah, we walked through the American Girl doll store. No, you like dolls. No, I'm telling you, these dolls just living their best life. And I just wanted to live my best life just like these dolls were. One of them was a bunch of the dolls having a pillow fight. I have been telling my husband that girls do not just have pillow fights and fling feathers into the air during sleepovers for years. And that display sort of took validity away from what I have been saying. And it made me go, wait, have I been doing sleepovers wrong? Is it me?
Have I been getting it wrong this whole time?
Did I miss out? It went from the American Girl doll store to the FAO Schwartz store. There were
oh my gosh,
10 billion people all in that one little store. And they were probably in there because it was 50,000 degrees below zero outside. I mean, it's freaking cold.
1 or 2 degrees off from that, probably, but very close.
So I'm just realizing that me putting the hat on, your fear of that was not really about the hat being dangerous for me, and was more about my external spiral process of what if the hat.
I was trying to take care of you emotionally. Look, it is the delusion in which I live. Denial, the place I like to call it.
No, I can get on board with that. I know my crazy. I just accept it. I accept it. I make peace with it.
And we were in the store, and not kidding, so packed with people. We all look at each other and we're like, "Do you feel done? I feel done. Do you?"
I am not used to being around people that are shorter than me. But I was one of the tallest people in that store.
You were very tall.
I was very tall. Definitely in the top.
You were a giant amongst the customers.
The top 30% for sure. Okay, 40. Top 40%. Top 40%. Some of those children were probably taller than me.
Now, let's enjoy the action-packed completion of Little Jen in the Big City.
So we left there. We left FAO Schwartz, but we stayed in the Bryant. Well, we were still trying to figure out where we were going to go from there because, and I cannot remember for the life of me, we were looking for cake. Why were we looking for cake? Was there a hankering for cake? Did we see cake somewhere? Like, why was it all of a sudden we were like, you know what, we need cake?
Well, we had that really late lunch,
Right.
but here we were like at dinner time. And I don't know. I don't know if it was me that said it or if it was you that said it, but whoever said it, the other one got on board very quick. Oh, cake sounds like a great
no
idea.
selling.
Sounds like a great idea.
So we did look around within the area.
Unfortunately, we were all pulling the same role in the relationship where we were like, I want something, but I don't know where to get it from. No. Swipe left.
Well, we did look. Like we did, in all fairness, like
Wait, is swiping left good or bad?
That means you're decline,
Yeah, okay,
not interested.
We were swiping left.
Yeah. I mean, we were in New York. We were in New York City where they have a great food scene and all of the things.
We were in Rockefeller Center. You didn't want the Mille cake, which I still have never had. You said it was glutinous. Frank did not want the what was that cake place? I can't even remember. It was like a Asian cake place.
Yeah, we kept finding them every time we looked for like top places. It kept coming up.
Yeah, and it's probably great.
Probably.
So
but it also wasn't close.
No, it was close. It was like 2 blocks away. It was close.
Okay.
He just was like, it's matcha. It's just a bunch of matcha.
Oh, that's true. He thought that it was just going to be matcha, like matcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we just all looked at each other and said, let's get a cocktail. And you were like, Del Frisco's is right here. Yeah. We go to Del Frisco's at work. So let's just go into Del Frisco's.
Right at Rockefeller.
We had espresso martinis.
Yes.
Delicious.
Although the one that they had on the menu has like a hazelnut.
And it was better. And even Frank agreed that it was better, even though you guys ordered yours without the hazelnut.
I was totally happy with my decision.
Well, I was totally happy with my decision.
It sounds like Frank was the one who he did. He's like, I wish I got that one. So yeah, he had a little bit.
He had some beverage envy. And then we had cake. They had this like lemon cake. And then you were looking for some peanut butter or something.
Oh my gosh, yes. So they used to have this like peanut butter bar dessert that I loved. Like it's so good. Had the perfect bite, the perfect smooth, like everything about it was so good. So I was hoping like, oh, maybe it'll be back on the menu. So we go, they have the lemon cake that Frank had really liked. So like, I was like, great, we can have cocktails and we know that place has a good cake. And my peanut butter bar wasn't on the menu still. It was like so I ended up getting this flourless chocolate tort, which was good, but it's not the same as my peanut butter bar dessert that I wanted.
Here's the dumbest thing. How many places have we gone in New York City and we're like, no, we've eaten too much. We can't have dessert. Oh my God, we'd love to come back here and try that. We'd love this. Oh, look at this little cute dessert shop. Nope, we're full from, whatever meal we had. We need a list.
We need to create a list.
We're not living like tourists, and so we're like creatures of habit.
It's very true. Although I will say now, like if I go to a restaurant, even if I am full and the dessert menus, I will still look at the dessert menu because there may be something scrumptious on there.
You're going to put it on the list so we can go back. So we're not all like, oh, where do we? Not that Del Frisco's wasn't great, but like,
you're just in New York City. Like
they're like more about pulling you in for their steak, and we were not there. So we did that. When that was fun. And we decided, and the waiter agreed, we need to write a letter and get Del Frisco's to bring back the yummy peanut butter bar dessert that you talked about.
Yes. So this is a plea to any decision maker of the dessert menu at Del Frisco's Grill. If you are listening, please bring back that peanut butter bar dessert. It was my favorite.
Yeah, because apparently you were a hot dessert spot when you had the peanut butter bar dessert.
Right. Now
I
the espresso martini did pull me in too, because I'd had it there before and I liked it. So, but
Yeah.
you know what would have made it better was that peanut butter bar. I'll let it go. But
You're not going to let it go.
you're right. I will not. Every time I walk by there, I will think of that.
So then we took because for some reason we all ordered a dessert, like as if we all needed a dessert, a whole
We
dessert.
did.
So we took.
Well, hold on. While we were there, though, we also recorded, I think, one of my most favorite little shorts that we've ever made.
I
Because
did.
we both were living our best lives.
Did get to use a steak knife as my microphone holder, and that was just fabu.
It was excellent.
That was excellent. And I don't even remember what we talked about.
I think we were just saying like what we had been up to. Like we weren't changing the world and anything, but we were entertained, and I was using a fork.
And it was just about me getting to use a steak knife as my microphone holder because you would not let me buy those ones at MoMA.
No. And I still wouldn't. I do not regret that decision.
I think that you will eventually one day regret that decision. That sounds ominous.
Is that a threat? Because
No.
it's recorded.
Definitely not a threat.
This is going to turn into a true crime podcast before we know it.
Nope.
Jen's like, I'm going to unsubscribe from that one.
I don't. Yeah. Nope. So then we packed up our little desserts that we did not make a dent in, and we took a walk to Bryant Park, which I don't know where I was. Was I like in a sugar coma? Was I frozen? I recall talking about how we were going to walk. Oh, I recall why I was so distracted. We wanted what's the place? The salad in a baguette place.
Oh, bread Zeppelin.
Yeah, we wanted bread Zeppelin for dinner. We wanted to get a bread Zeppelin to take home for dinner, a salad.
And you were sure
shoved
there
inside
would be a bread Zeppelin in New York City.
A warm baguette. And I just thought New York City has everything. Like, how could there not be one?
We found something it doesn't have.
I Googled it, and it was like giving you directions to the nearest bread Zeppelin. And apparently it would take, 26 days? Was that the number of days to walk there?
If we wanted to walk to the nearest one.
If we wanted to walk to the nearest one, it was going to take us 26 days. Yeah, but it was cold. And so we decided we were going to take one of those domes from the city winery outdoor area in between Lumini and Del Frisco's in Rockefeller Center and carry the dome with a sleeping bag for each one of us to take a resting period,
right? And
walk to the bread Zeppelin. I don't know why we didn't put that plan into action, but we didn't. And so and
I'm grateful that we
it was a very immersive experience inside my head. And I totally missed the fact that we walked to Bryant Park because I love Bryant Park. For what reason, I don't know. I just do. And I missed it entirely.
In all fairness, the way that we approached it is we approached it from the library side, not the park side. But that stop is
I love
referred
the
to as
library there. I love the library there. I love to look at it. I love Bryant Park. I just missed it. I missed the whole thing.
Yeah. So we go down 2 flights of stairs. I think it's to get down to those.
Yeah.
Just to find.
I did not miss the stairs.
Train.
The 7 train was not running.
And for
and
those
y'all
of you
were
who use the 7 train, I'm sure you were shocked by this.
It was not running due to construction on the line. And so we walked all the way back up the stairs. And you guys were like, I guess we're taking a lift. And I said...
You know what I love about us telling this story? Sorry to interrupt. We were talking about these desserts and cakes and all this stuff with so much passion and love. We had to walk 2 flights of stairs, and we make it sound like we had to walk 27 days for water.
Yeah, we did. We did, basically. So you guys were like, let's take a lift. And I was like, what about a bus? So I'm getting more and more comfortable with the New York Transit. And we did take a bus back.
And that is actually the longest bus ride I think I have taken in New York City.
You are welcome. You survived it. We went back to Lick or Sunnyside. Where did we go?
We went all the way back to Sunnyside.
We went back to Sunnyside. And then by the time we got home, got ourselves back into the apartment, all unbundled from the. It was really less about having to, because we did walk about the city. It was more about how cold it was. It was so cold. It was so
windy.
cold.
It was so windy.
It was so cold and windy, and the wind chill was literally like 16 degrees or something. It was very cold. For someone who did not bring a coat and was wearing pants that left bare ankles.
Which you suddenly became very aware of.
Yeah, because my ankles were very cold. I should have borrowed some like long socks and those on or something. I don't know. They were not pants made for wind. It's just so very chilly. Yeah. So then we got back to the apartment and we were like, what? I don't know what time it was, like 9 o'clock or something.
No, it wasn't that late.
And we were in before 9.
Yeah.
Both nights.
We got back.
Maybe it was like 8 o'clock. Oh, because the I was gonna say the Grammys, Oscars, Academy Awards. I did learn this morning that the Academy Awards and the Oscars are the same thing. The Oscars were on, and they were on at the bar. And then
the red carpet. They were doing the red carpet.
Was on at the bar, and then on at the apartment. And we decided. Well, I decided. I don't think I had eaten really any vegetables. You tried to convince me that the scallions and my cream cheese on my bagel in the morning was a vegetable.
I think I also pointed out that the marinara sauce was also made of tomato and onion.
And I don't think you could call a truffle a vegetable. Like, no, just no vegetables. And I was like, I can't believe I've made it through the whole day with no vegetables. And so I need some vegetables. And you were like, and you need protein. And I was like,
well, because you told me apparently that like Ace has to keep up with your protein intake because you apparently do not incline easily.
I don't prefer it. So we ordered from, is it called Dig?
Yeah, Dig.
Okay, so is it Dig because of the vegetables? Like because you dig vegetables out of the ground?
No,
like, what is this
it used to be called Dig In. Like,
oh, Dig In.
Here's the food, Dig In. And when you go to the storefront, it's actually like the food is out in different types of like dishes and things, and so like
this is like a buffet type thing.
No, it's not a buffet. It's like almost like how
it's
Chipotle,
like a Chipotle.
Right,
like,
but it's not so much like it feels more homey because like the dishes and pots and things like that it's made in.
Are you saying that people breathed on my, like the public breathed on my food before I ate it?
No, they did not. So we order from there because I love their vegetables. They have great vegetables there. They also have really good.
We ordered like one of every. Well, we didn't order the Brussels sprouts.
We did not. I would have, but they had I think like balsamic or something, which I'm not a huge fan of.
I don't like balsamic either. This is why we're friends. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, we ordered like, and they didn't have the kale salad that you love.
Oh, it's the kale cashew salad. That
I just don't understand. You choose to eat kale on purpose. I do sometimes put a little kale in my bread zeppelin, but I haven't had one of those in a long time. But I think I just would put that in there because it felt like the healthy thing to do, not because I actually like to eat it.
When you come out here again, we'll have to see if they have it. Because I think you'll like it. Like it has a nice zest to it. It's not like a crunchy kale. Like it's so good.
Is it wilty? Is it wilty?
No, it's not wilty. No.
So the kale is both not crunchy and not. Are you sure it's kale?
See, this is why you can't talk about it unless you've had it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's scrumptious. I love it. So good.
You can
So
bring
we
some.
got
Bring
your
some to me when you
vegetables.
come in April.
We got your
I
vegetables.
brought you with this salad.
Right. Let me offer you this salad that has not been kept cold for the past 4.5
don't
hours.
you have one of those little, those little old school, retro, thermos lunchbox container things? You could just put it in that. Take that as your carry-on.
I have to. Ollie is my carry-on.
Ollie can
And
be
my
Frank's.
backpack.
It can be Frank's carry-on.
Next time you're here, I promise, I am not bringing you kale cashew salad. It is not like an Ace cookie. They do not travel well.
Okay. So basically what we're saying is the kale cashew salad is...
It's good if while you're here, but I don't know if I added Bread Zeppelin to the list of places we need to go to while I'm there.
I'm sure you did.
Okay, I'll check
I'm sure you did. So he's like,
I love how this has become our stream of consciousness.
We have absolutely got to go to Bread Zeppelin. So we ordered all of the vegetables. They had like these great, I also learned that apparently people eat sweet potato skins.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you and Frank had a whole discussion about this.
That is like not normal. I've never, I don't know about that. I'll eat a potato skin, but not a sweet potato skin. Like, it's like eating a banana peel.
But aren't they both grown underground? Like, what's the difference?
Do you eat the peel of a banana?
Let me be clear. I do not eat sweet potatoes, period. Nothing about a sweet potato seems appetizing to me.
You missed out. They were good. I even ate the carrots. Oven roasted carrot fry things. I picked those and I ate them. I did eat them quickly because I was like, I want to get past these. And eat this tomato and cucumber salad and these.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was the first time I'd
delicious.
had the cucumber tomato salad there.
Yeah, I ate the rest of it for breakfast the next morning. It was great.
Sure did.
And yeah, you got me some chicken breast, and I ate that.
Oh yeah, they have really good chicken breast there too.
Yeah,
I love that place.
Our producer will be happy that you attempted to force more onto my plate than I took. I do not think that's enough protein, Jen.
Like 1.5 pieces. I see you filled your plate with veggies. Wonderful.
I told you I needed vegetables. Like we had no produce for the day. So we did that, and then we went to sleep.
Yeah, that was our night.
That was that. That was it. So the next day we get up, and it is time to get coffee because I have work I have to get done before I head in to my the city for my meeting, and we get up and we go to this coffee shop that's been around. Is it new?
Yeah, it's only been around for a few months. I think it opened like maybe in the fall, maybe in the winter.
It's called Melting
this
Cup.
last year. Yeah, Melting Cups in Sunnyside.
Yeah.
And I'd been wanting to go because
the cups didn't melt.
No.
Spoiler alert. They're just regular cups.
Which I'm okay with that. Like, I don't want the hot beverage to melt on me.
I was like, what is this, coffee in a chocolate cup or something? No.
It was good. It was good. They are...
We had cortados. They were delicious.
Mm-hmm. So the shop itself says that it's a coffee shop, an art gallery, a cocktail lounge, and an event space. So even though like it's a Melting Cups is like coffee shop-ish.
It was being a lot to Yeah.
But cute little space. Like when you first walk in, definitely very much so like coffee shop vibes.
Very artistically made, beautiful cortados.
Yeah. Oh, we got to meet the owner, actually.
We did. We met the owner, and we had a scone. We split some kind of a cheddar scone. It was also delicious.
So good. So good. Well, so then we go further into the back where there's a sign. I took a picture of it. We'll throw it in here. But it had like don't put your feet on the furniture. Don't like it was the rules of the back space and
no meetings. Be present.
Correct. No laptops.
Don't work. And
no virtual meetings. It clearly states that on this sign. So we go back there, and it. In all fairness, we go in there, and there's only one other person there,
violating all of the rules. His feet are on the furniture. He is on a Teams meeting, and he is just repeating the same things over and over again. I mean, this guy This guy is like, what's the word I'm looking for? The stereotype of the people that are the reason that an email becomes a meeting. The entire
true,
time
he just kept saying the same things over and over
we
again.
were there, he just repeated the same things over and over again. We actually started participating in his conversation, but he did not act like he noticed. And I wish I would have
like
been
those noise canceling headphones on, so
I wish I would have been bolder about it. We should have been bolder about participating as he's swinging himself around in his chair, loudly participating in this meeting. And he just, for 30 minutes, we were there for 30 minutes. And for 30 minutes, he just continued to say he could not believe it was March and they did not have a corporate scorecard yet. And Robert Larkin was going to hire those people.
Those were our takeaways from the meeting.
We don't know who Robert Larkin is, but he's hiring the people. And there is no corporate scorecard.
So get on that.
So that was 30 minutes of just repeated. We
also tried taking some photos. Some of them came out well, and
no, I'm just talking about of his meeting.
Oh, yeah.
They spent 30 minutes just circling back to that. It was as if the people on the call were trying to go elsewhere, and he was just circling them back around to that. I'm pretty sure he's getting paid to not actually do work. I don't know.
Well, the space was, minus that individual, the space was actually very nice, great furniture, great. I mean,
a very unique art.
Had the rules been followed, it would have been like a great experience. The art was very interesting.
Very unique. Never seen anything like it.
I don't think we'll be able to show any of it.
It was not G-rated or PG-rated or PG-13 rated, but I now know more about mermaids than I think I should.
Yeah, agreed. And ironically, everyone that we shared that picture with kind of shared the same feelings.
Wow, I'm terrified.
But it was unique. Like, I think that was the other thing that made it kind of right. It was
telling
art
a story.
And it was many pieces. Like,
I will say though, just my one piece of feedback. This is a coffee shop, and so you can expect that people are not fully awake yet as they are participating. So maybe just don't go into the back room unless you are awake.
Yeah, fully caffeinated. So we were there for about like 30-ish minutes. Mm-hmm. We tried doing a little impromptu photo shoot. I don't think we got one good picture, I think. We got one good picture.
You figured out how to turn your iPhone into one of those 1990s JCPenney's portrait studios.
I attempted.
With awkward family photo vibes, where...
Check.
check. Then I showed up as the...
I heard awkward photo and I was in.
The subject that was ready to participate. I feel like the vibes I was bringing to those photos were perfectly matched to the
space we were in.
The setting. Yeah, the vibes that your photo settings were creating, basically.
So we did that, and then we headed back because you had to do some work stuff, and in between the work stuff, I had found some trivia cards and things left down in our lobby. To be clear, they were left for them to be rehoused, not for public use.
And then I learned that Frank is not the only one that rehomes things into the apartment. It's Chris, too. Both of them.
All right, well, mine are two
I'm not the only collector.
That are the size of a deck of cards.
And what I loved is you were like, we were both like, man, I'm really good at this trivia thing. And as soon as I said it out loud, I stopped being really good at the trivia thing.
Yeah.
I was feeling real good.
I have never claimed to be good at trivia.
Nor have I. So I was feeling really good about it. Like maybe I didn't know myself so well. Alas, I did know myself pretty well. But I think I decently made it through that deck of trivia. Pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, we got through the entire deck. I think the game, I'm trying to see, it's too small. It's over
I don't.
there.
Yeah. It's just some trivia of all kinds of different subjects.
Yeah.
There was some geography in there and a lot of
Science, geography,
history in there.
Yeah.
Who can guess which subjects I didn't do as well in?
Towards the end, it was any of them.
There was some entertainment in there. I feel like it was like a trivia game from 15 years ago, though, to be fair. Because some of the trivia that was in there was like definitely not current pop culture. It was like, probably more than 15 years ago, because gosh darn it, we're in 2025.
Which is probably why it was left downstairs to be rehoused.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that. Okay.
Well, if you think about it, like the cards are always the same, right? So you play it once with a group of friends. It's not like you can pull it back out. Like,
no,
maybe you take it to different friends.
I'm pretty sure you could pull it back out, and I would still get probably just as many of them correct.
Okay, well then I will bring it with me.
But it would probably
Texas.
Be different ones. I would get probably the same number, but different ones. Maps and stuff, maps.
Apps.
So yeah, we did play the trivia game, and then we went and I had my my very first ever experience having my a tarot card reading, and that was a really interesting experience, which we'll save for a different day.
I would just like to state that it started out rough because the tarot card reader texts that she got stuck in traffic.
After you tried to make the appointment for a specific time frame, and then she texts you back, okay, let's do this time frame, and it was outside of that time frame you gave her. Like, you think time and space is a mystery to me.
Well, you can't be the only one.
Like, she's never even heard of the concept. I don't know.
But so we were supposed to all three have our tarots read. Unfortunately, the time did not allow for it. So
it was just me. It was probably okay, given the experience, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
I think it's probably okay that we only did the one. So we did that, and then we headed into the city for so my meeting was in East Village, which actually I think was in a part of the city that I don't think I've ever been to before.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever gone down there before.
I'm not saying we've never been near East Village, because it was, we've been to Union Square and all of that, but it was like this very quiet, pristine, beautiful part of the city. And I was like, what is this place? I'm like, this is amazing. So it was a lovely little place. I stayed at the Standard Hotel in East Village. And by the way, I have never seen a view of the city like the one that was at the Standard. I just am an idiot and did not take all of the photos. I only took like 2 little photos. It had a 360 view of the city with no tall buildings around, so you could see the entire 360 skyline. Gorgeous.
And it wasn't even that tall of a building. Like, I think that's what was surprising.
I think the penthouse was 21 floors. So it was 21 floors up.
But like around it, the buildings did not obstruct views.
No.
So
it was just, breathtaking. It was absolutely beautiful. So we had a little lunch in the cafe down there, which was great food, actually. It was delicious. And
it was wonderful. Like, we could have just been really, really hungry, but I don't think so. I think the food was actually really good. Really good.
It was really, really good. I would do that again.
I will say one of the things I loved about it was that when you checked in and they gave you your room key, like they gave you that little pamphlet that like all the things about the hotel, and
except for it was outdated.
Right. So like we ask our waiter like, oh well, we see this like where, and he's like, oh yeah, that was over there. But it's being
like 2 years ago. Two years ago, we no longer we transformed that space, and so they have not invested in updated folios.
But it sounds like it's still under construction, so they probably don't want to update it until it's finalized.
Yeah, true. But it's great space, and So I was just a tiny bit behind in wrapping up that lunch with you guys and heading up. But I thought, no big deal. Just sneak in the back. They're doing intros. It's not a big deal. And little did I know, as we were meeting in this space in the penthouse on the 21st floor, that I would get scanned up the elevator and be dropped into the middle of the ongoing meeting. Like, not at the back of the room where I could just sneak in, not on a floor that you then walk into a meeting room. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't to be the elevator opens and all of a sudden, ding.
Did you like put your hands out and do a little jazz hands or?
In my head, my Lizzie McGuire moment was that my pockets were stuffed with confetti and I just like flung the confetti out and entered like, hey, I'm here. But in reality, what happened is the CEO of the company was standing there and he was like, Jen, it's so great to see you. And like they're in the middle of this discussion and I'm like interrupting it, feeling awkward. And I'm like, oh God, I'm so sorry. And they're like giving me my badge and my stuff. And I'm like trying to shrink into invisible so that I can not be disruptive, feeling like a total jerk for being late to this meeting. Because I really didn't think I was going to be interrupting the middle of a room. So that was cool. And then I was like, okay, so whatever you do, don't be late. Don't be late. And then they unlocked the stairwell from the 20th to the 21st floor so that people could just go up the stairs.
Oh, that's probably better planning.
Well, nobody could cart in to the 21st floor. You had to get carted up there.
Okay.
So like our cards, you have to, cart in on the elevator to press the floors, and the 21st floor was like locked down. So we had to get somebody to let us up there. So it was more convenient. But all of the catering was happening inside the stairwells too. So like you're going up and down this stairwell and like interrupting all of the catering people in their carts of food and whatever. It was a great space. Though the view was just spectacular. Beautiful.
And then you actually got to explore a little bit around the hotel while you were there, right?
I did. So a good friend of mine who was there as well took me over to this the biggest liquor store I have ever seen in New York City. It was like a Total Wine of New York City. It's called Astor Wine and Spirits, and they just had like everything, all of the space, and they actually had a great whiskey selection. So that was fun to go check out. And then where we had our dinner the next night was at the Great Jones Distilling Company. And the Great Jones Distilling Company is the first distilling company to be operational since Prohibition in Manhattan.
Wow.
In all of Manhattan. So that was really cool. When they took this old space and renovated it, and because New York City has all of the like subway transit underneath, they had to dig down to reinforce the building in order for the copper column stills to that go up through to the second floor to be able to be stable. They had to reinforce all of the flooring, so they had to dig down to do that. And they found a hidden tunnel between the floor of the building and the subway tracks that they think was used, at least the story goes, and maybe it just makes it more interesting, but they think may have been used to actually, during Prohibition, like take away liquor.
Move the beverages.
Yeah. So that was kind of exciting. I didn't get to see the tunnel. I was a little disappointed about that, but the building is beautiful. We did a tasting. So they have, we tasted through 4 of their whiskeys, and we had their regular bourbon, which actually all of their grains are grown in this very specific area in upstate New York that is known for its soil content and the like high percentage of something in its soil content. And so their actual just regular bourbon, they were all, everything was, I think, under 100 proof that we tried. So they were all like relatively low in proof, which was for whiskey, which was actually good for me because then you could go through the tasting and not like be flat, like worried about the fact that you're in a work setting because, I don't do that. So we had their regular bourbon. It was a 4-year, and it tasted very peppery. It tasted much more like a rye. That one actually ended up being my favorite. And then we had their 4-grain, which was good. And then we had their rye as well, which was good. But I think I liked the bourbon better. And then they made paper planes. So they had old fashions and paper planes as the cocktails, and some wine, why would I drink the wine when I'm there at the distillery? But the paper plane happens to be my very favorite cocktail.
What is a paper plane? I don't think I've ever heard of it.
A paper plane is it's a Maronino quintessentia and Aperol and bourbon or whiskey and lemon juice and sometimes just a touch of simple syrup. And it should, if it's made right, be kind of a bordering on like a pale pastel color. It should not be like a bright pink like a Cosmo. So if they don't have the right kind of Amaro, then sometimes, and they try to make it that way anyways, it turns out more like a Cosmo, and I'm not I'm not a fan of Cosmos. I think college just sort of did me in on a Cosmo. Some people very much enjoy them. It's just not my thing. But I love a paper plane. It's like it's not sweet, but it's not bitter. It's because that Aperol really balances well, and the lemon juice, and it's like this citrusy, just very approachable beverage. And so I just was very excited to see that they had paper planes because this was my favorite beverage, and like nobody knows what it is, and so I was like, very excited, and it was great, and it was just I got to spend time while I was there with other people in my same industry who I think are just really bright and great company, and got to meet some amazing people I hadn't met before, and we certainly got to, talk about and learn about some really interesting stuff. So all of that was really great, but it was super fun to explore this distillery. And I think that the next time we come to New York, we need to have a trip to the distillery.
Oh,
and
for sure.
I need a tour.
That'd be a fun thing to do.
Yeah. So that was fun. And then the next morning I was leaving, but so my complaint about this hotel is that there is no in-room coffee. And I find this in New York City more often than anywhere else, that there are at times no in-room coffee. And I just think that is inappropriate. I should be checking that out and heading over to the, corner store and picking up like a refrigerated coffee or something like that. Although
have at the ready.
Hot coffee in the morning. So the fact that I have to like put clothes on before I get coffee, for the morning is just like
a risk.
It's wrong. So I was like looking for where am I going to go? How far am I going to have to adventure myself without coffee? Can I even make it down the elevator? Should I just order room service for coffee? But there's like the pot of coffee is $6, and there's a $7 delivery charge and a 20% room service charge, and then gratuity on top of that, because the 20% room service charge is not gratuity. So for a $6 pot of coffee, I'm already in.
So that motivated you to put on clothes, and
so I was just like, that's not appropriate, and it's probably not going to be the best coffee anyways.
Wait, did you figure all this out like the night before, or
yes, I did.
Okay.
I figured it out.
I was like, because that's
before.
a lot of mathing to be doing without.
I know
Caffeine.
myself enough to know that when I wake up in the morning, I better have a coffee plan. Otherwise, I'm going to melt down. And you've actually seen that happen before. So I was like Googling, coffee near me. And then I realized there's a place literally next door. Literally, it's the building right next to the hotel called Librae. I think that's how you pronounce it. Librae Bakery that has super high rating. And it's this very interesting bakery. So instead of getting a drip coffee like I normally would get, because sometimes like what I've learned, especially when you go to a bagel shop in New York, is don't get the drip coffee. You have to put cream in it in order to drink it. It's just not. And unfortunate because there are some great coffee places in the city. But they had this what did I have? A date tahini latte.
Oh.
And so I was like, well, I'm going to get that because I don't think I will ever have a chance to have a date tahini latte ever again. And it was beautiful. It was it was just a hint of sweetness from the date. And I don't know, delicious. Didn't taste like coffee. Tasted like date tahini milk, but it was, well, probably like date tahini milk with some coffee-ish in it. It was made beautifully. It was a beautiful cup of coffee. For a latte, and I got this pistachio rose croissant, and the croissant was all butter and so flaky, and it had this pistachio rose on top, but in the middle they had cut the croissant down the middle and then put this pistachio rose I don't know, it was almost like a jam onto the croissant in the middle, and it was just delicious. So I ate half of that. I brought half home for my husband, which he forgot about, so he didn't eat. So it's just sad. And I wanted to buy one of everything in the store because there's stuff I had never seen before, but you couldn't, because I'm headed home. I'm getting back on the plane. So I also chose, I love a good scone. I chose a carrot cardamom scone. Ooh. And it had shredded carrot pieces in it, in a good high quality carrot cake. And it was, so that's what I had for lunch on the plane was the carrot cardamom scone. So I had a pistachio rose croissant for breakfast with a date tahini
did contain protein
latte. And because of the pistachio and a carrot cardamom scone. And so you can tell by the time I got in town and got home at 5:30, I was like, probably need some protein.
Food, real food now.
And Ace is like, what do you want? And I'm like,
I can't make decisions.
I need a shower. But yeah, no, I would go back to Librae Bakery every time I'm in New York, even though it's not anywhere near we ever are. I mean, you have got to go check that place out and tell me all about it because it seemed amazing. And apparently on the weekends they do some special pastry that everybody dies for that they just don't have during the week. So I thought it was lovely. And I can't remember what kind of what area of the world the bakery's roots are from, but it was very unique and just amazing.
All right, well, I'm going to have to go check it out then.
Highly recommend. I highly recommend. And by the way, their pastry is on point.
I mean, I feel like a lot of times whenever y'all come, there may be restaurants that you for sure want to go to or things like that. So we find things in that area to go do and be, or we just explore after we eat there. Yeah. So I think that's to me, that's a common thing to do. So
it was on point. So we got to go. We got to go back.
Add it to the list. So we want to hear from everyone. What is your favorite place in New York City to get cake?
Oh, yes, please. Because we did that wrong. we did that wrong. We did it wrong. And Chris and Frank are going to be visiting us in Dallas in about a month in the DFW area. And so we would love to hear, especially West Side, Best Side, Fort Worth, We would love to hear about the favorite places, little hidden gems that we should take them. I have my list of favorite places, but we would love to hear some suggestions of great places that we should take the boys while we are here in DFW together.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us on Chris and Jen in the Morning.
Where it's always morning somewhere.
We love that you listened in, and we can't wait to talk to you again. Have a great week.
Later.